Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast. It's a Monday morning, and you can tell by the nervous laughter that we're about to enter that part of the Open Monday where we start talking about relationships. Right now, of course, it's about honesty, which, as an important aspect of any relationship, should be treated with the utmost respect. In fact, you could say that it is one of the highest forms of intimacy in a relationship, and that being honest saves everyone a lot of time and a lot of heartache. But are there any harsh or ugly truths that you might know that might hurt your partner if you disclose them? Well, what's the best way of handling them? Do you just communicate them openly, or do you just keep them to yourself?
Well, that's the thing. It's easier said than done. And if you have any questions or comments about honest communication in your relationship, we have our relationship expert, Dr. Eve, in the house on the hot seat, the very hot seat this morning, to engage with all of us. So please give us a call on 021 430 9881. So before we begin, we thought we'd have a little bit of fun with our brilliant Expresso couples and ask them to tell each other something they have never ever told one another before. Woo!
Hi, my name is Andrew.
Hi, my name is Andrea.
I work in the restaurant industry.
I'm a salon owner in Southern Suburbs.
And we've been married for 7 years.
There has to be someone. You can't be such a goody two-shoes.
Just hang on, oh my word.
Sometimes I think we tell each other too much, but that's why we don't have issues. But there are... Oh, there's actually something else I don't tell you. Let me try and think of something that you think that I don't know that you do.
Yeah, there's a reason why I always like to drive. Because I don't like your driving.
Okay. Okay. Long drive home.
Yeah, it is going to be a long drive.
Wow, I didn't know that. He thinks I drive like a cowboy.
Yeah.
I think he drives too slowly. But anyway, okay, thanks. So mine would be I intentionally go and buy sweeties and hide them in my bag, and I never share them with you. Anything jelly. And most of the time, I don't even finish the packet. It just empties in the bag. But the fact that I just want to keep something from him. Yeah, it's the little...
I do actually know that happens all the time, because there's always sugar in the bottom of your bag, and I don't know where it comes from. Now I know.
Yeah, I will, not that it's a big secret, because it's my credit card, but I always run by you what I do, because it's just a respect thing. But I go buy other things on my credit card that I never run by you.
It's fine, baby.
I know, I'm just sharing.
Oh, that was so sweet.
We love you
That
guys.
was so sweet.
That was very, very
But
sweet.
you know what, right? There's a certain point of sensitivity that the lady touched on there, where she said, well, because it's my credit card.
Yeah,
because sometimes
'cause it's
these things
mine.
come up, Dr. Eve, where you don't like certain things about your partner. You don't like the way they drive. You don't like the way they spend money, even though it's their money. And you've got to sit them down and say, listen, this is the truth. So how should you then handle this, and why is open and frequent honest communication so important to a relationship being happy?
You can't have trust unless you've got that honesty in the relationship. It's all about boundaries and filtering. How much should you be filtering and keeping to yourself? You know, we talk about privacy and secrets. So I thought this was cute, and this is light and superficial.
Kid gloves, yeah, kid gloves.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But you know, Graham, maybe that's where it starts. And once there's a sense of how's this person responding to the lightness, to the sweets in the bag, then will I be able to talk about things that are really important to me that I don't really like the way that you manage the children. That could be a big thing. Parenting styles that are a little bit different. Or the way that you talk to my mother, I don't really like that. I think it could be a little different. Or actually the way that you dress is not really something that I enjoy, or I feel that when we go out, there could be a different way of dressing. Or, and this is something I hear quite often in my therapy room, when we socialize, you are just too demanding, or you're too commanding of the situation. You dominate the social situation. And I've never told you that before, but really people all around seem to drift away from you because you're just too dominant and too narcissistic when you are in company, and I don't like that.
You're talking about men or women?
Well, you know what? I laughed right in the beginning because here I've got two men. I'm sitting with two beautiful men, and it's usually the men who are kind of really quite reticent about talking to women because I'm being so sexist here. But I'm thinking about women who are saying, how do I look in the jeans? I mean, I don't know. Do men say, well, do these jeans make me look fat?
I've never ever asked that question before.
Right.
No,
So it's usually,
I'm going to say right now.
yeah, but why not? Why isn't it that? So it's interesting that we've got, I have got you two men sitting over here, because I think that men are a little nervous to say to women, because you can't kind of get it right.
Mm-hmm.
There may be such a huge reaction from the person, let me not be sexist, that I can't go further. One has to be really cautious, and you start out, and I'm going to say I love this couple with the sweets in the bag, and let me see how reactive the person is going to be before I go into something that's really important to me, that I'm not able to tell you, but that's really making a difference in terms of getting me to detach a little from you. And those are the couples that end up in my therapy room where we're not having sex anymore. I don't want to be sexual with you. I don't want to have intimacy anymore. And it comes down to things that I'm not able to tell you. Things like you're too loud, or you're just a little too aggressive, and I don't know really how to handle it when you're with my friends, or you're too flirtatious with my friends, and I think that that's inappropriate. But I just don't say it, because the consequences of that might be just too explosive in our relationship.
Ooh.
There's a lot to process there, and we'd love to hear from you guys as
Yeah.
well. 021-430-9881. You can be anonymous if you have to. I'm really interested to find out, and you can think about this during the break, or our little break here, is are there some things that should be kept secret? Do we need to share absolutely everything? You can weigh in on that conversation as well. Please give us a call.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So we are continuing our relationship chat with Dr. Eve. We are talking about those ugly truths within relationship. How do you broach them with your partner? And we've discussed the importance of being truthful and having that honest, trusting foundation within a relationship.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, are there things that you should keep secret? Surely we need to be able to scale our honesty, or am I completely off the mark?
Different kinds of honesty, Graham. So honesty is in terms of emotions. I think that that's really important. But in terms of thoughts, I don't know if that's really important. We have so many different thoughts filtering through our head all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really necessary to put every single thought there? Also considering that your thoughts keep changing. So if in that moment that you're looking at your partner and there's tension, you think, I really don't like this person.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you don't like that person all the time. At that moment, you don't. So is it important to say at that moment, I really don't like you, or I really don't like the way that you look?
Is it?
You are laughing.
No.
No,
I'm just thinking,
I
is
don't
it?
think so, because you know that in half hour's time,
Of course.
you are going to be, I'm talking to the brain the whole time, you are going to be liking that person, and for the majority of the time you do. But is it necessary at that time to say, I'm really not liking you, I'm really bored right now? Isn't that something we need to filter? If you're at a dinner party, for example, and you're feeling bored, is it necessary to say to somebody, I'm really bored with your company now, I'm going to find somebody else? Or surely you should
Just
be
gonna
able
bear
just
it
to
and
say, just be able to hold that emotion and move on without having to say to the person, you're really boring me right now, and I'm going to go and talk to
What if
Graham.
that person asks you, am I boring you right now? Do you then say yes or no? Are you tactful?
Or let me
would-
just say I'm
yes.
easily bored. But of course, there are
Exactly
external
right.
factors as well. Like, for instance, I've got a baby at home, so my partner and I are always hyper-conscious of that being the most important thing. So often we do come second to that, but it's not
Yeah.
always as simple as just being able to blurt it out, because there's a balance. You need to kind of maintain harmony.
You do, right. You need to maintain harmony, therefore it's not necessary to be able to tell those ugly truths every single minute of the day. I really don't believe
So,
that.
what are some of the most difficult topics that couples find hard to broach
Yeah.
that you found? So
I
far?
think, on a really superficial level, that's a story of women and clothing, because women have such a story around clothing and their bodies. Let me say their bodies and the way that they look. And they're going to turn to the partner, the person, which is going to be the partner, and put, I think, people into really difficult situations, whether you're male or female partner, by saying, how do I look? And I want to say to all the women, please don't do that. It's really not fair
Are you looking
to
for
partners.
validation or honesty in that instance? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that you're looking for somebody to mirror you and to say to you, to reflect to you what you're not feeling. So it might be, I really don't think that I look great in the skirt, but if you tell me I look great, it's going to make me feel better. Rather stay with your own honest truth and say, well, I'm not feeling great in the skirt, so therefore I shouldn't be wearing it, rather than saying to your partner, what do you think? Because you know that whatever you say is not going to be heard well, because she's already anxious and she's, wanting, she's a little distressed, and so whatever you're going to say is not going to, she's going to say, if you say you look great, she's going to say, but I don't look great, because she's not feeling like she looks
So maybe
great.
the perfect answer to that question, how do I look, is what do you think?
Yeah, how do you feel?
100%,
How do they make you feel?
Absolutely. Put it right back to the person and let them take responsibility for it.
Oh, some absolute
Oh,
pearls,
wow. Yeah, absolutely. So listen, we're going to keep our lines open on 0214309881. We'll continue our chat about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth with
Call
Dr.
us.
Eve shortly. Give us a call.
Yeah, I want to know what your
It's my feel-good breakfast show. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are live, large and in charge on this Monday morning. We're talking relationships.
Did
We
you
are
call me
live.
Did you call me large?
That was not the truth.
We're large and you're in charge.
Babe, calm down. You see, this is what happens. This is what happens. Like, I didn't even mean to say that. We're talking about the truth and honesty and open communication in relationships. And we have a caller on the line right now. Good morning, Linda.
Morning.
Oh, thank you so much for your call. Thank you,
Thank
Linda.
you. I enjoy your show very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. What would you like to share with us?
I would want to say I lost my partner in November. We were together for 20 years. But in the beginning, we were on a date. And there was a beautiful lady sitting across us. And he was staring at her. And I said, listen, can you pay attention to me? Because, I'm with me, so I think you should pay attention to me. We were together for 20 years. I think he loved that honesty. Because right through our relationship, we were so honest with each other.
Oh, Linda, our condolences, first of all. But thank you so much. That's such a lovely anecdote about how to establish trust and honesty.
I think there are perhaps some things that you don't need to be, but I think that was one that people actually, especially ladies, don't like to say. They would tell it to their friends, but they wouldn't tell it to their partner.
So true.
Oh, thank you so much for that,
true.
Linda.
Thank you very much. I enjoy your show tremendously.
Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Linda.
Have a great
This
day.
is such a great example. I
Why,
love
why
it.
is
awesome.
that? Why is that you would feel more comfortable telling your friends certain things that you wouldn't feel comfortable telling your partner when you're supposed to be essentially sharing the rest of your life with this
It's supposed to be
person,
the most
right?
intimate relationship you have,
I'm just hesitating because, I did my whole book, Cyber Infidelity, on this. Why is it that we can go online and talk to a total stranger and share emotions that we don't talk to with our own partners who are lying in bed with us? There is this incredible honesty that we feel with others, and yet there's a huge risk of telling truth to the partner that you're living with or that you're sleeping with, because most of us don't like conflict and we want to avoid, and we don't know how to manage conflict. So we rather would go and bitch to somebody else where there is a low risk, you don't have to go home with that person, than be honest. And then the intimacy becomes quite superficial because you find that you share less and less and less because you don't know how to manage conflict. You don't know how to manage the conflict. This was a beautiful example, by the way, about
When it
men
starts
looking
off
at
just
other
like,
women.
yes,
I love
this is
that,
as
but
open as it's going to
But
be.
she also tells them straight off the bat what kind of a person she is, and that is so important at the beginning of a relationship to set those ground rules. So we're speaking a lot about kind of you bracing yourself to get over that hump and tell someone an ugly truth. How do you brace yourself for their reaction? How do you best prepare for that?
Graham, that's very important because people can be in very high-risk, volatile relationships, which is why they don't tell. So you always want to start out with the soft things. Well, what do you think about that? Or I don't like that. The soft things we're talking about. I don't like the way you drive, for example. That's soft. I have keep sweets in my bag. That's soft because you want to get a reaction to see how volatile and how safe I am. Because I'm always aware of the amount of violence that we have in our country, and people are, very reactive, very reactive. So you want to be very careful about saying things that people have a vulnerability towards. So if somebody has a huge issue around, I keep coming back to women and their bodies and their weight and their clothing, you just don't want to go there. You sense it out through soft things first and then say, I'm not going to go into that place because I know that there's going to be such a reaction. The person's going to say, well, you don't look nice either. You always are criticizing me. Why do you always criticize me? And then you know that this is just going to be a downward spiral. So that's why too many people live in a very superficial kind of relationship where they don't tell the honest truth around what they feel.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. E, so far. We are, I think, gathering some pearls of wisdom right now. And we'll keep our lines open. 0214309881. Give us a call. We're talking about honesty in relationships.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, man. I was making a suggestion to Dr. Eve that when you are going to have that honesty session with your partner, you should both get dressed in those massive sumo suits in a padded room and say, okay, cool, go.
Carte blanche, just go, man. I love it. So I think something that's certainly come up for me in this conversation is now that we've established it is going to get ugly. You know that you're going to be tackling a real nerve within your relationship, within your partner. Is it worth pushing through that despite knowing what the result is going to be to get to a better outcome at the future? Or do you then just avoid it because you know you're going to hurt the person?
So don't give the answer when you're feeling you're in a corner and you have to get out of the corner and then you're absolutely
Defensive,
unfiltered and you just bark it out. Do the soft startup. If she's or if he, let's use a guy for example. I mean, what issues would a guy like? Give me some examples of some things that you would want. You know, if somebody said to you, I don't think that your hairstyle is nice. I don't know. What do
I mean, men have egos as well.
Yeah,
Okay, so
like you,
you
there
know.
are days where you want to kind of feel nice.
Nice. Okay. So the thing then is not to be able to do it in a way where you are going to be criticizing this person. I totally think you have to sit through what we call in therapy the discomfort of the conflict. Rather sit through the dis-ease of hearing the truth of what your partner is saying if that truth is burdensome to you. Sit through the discomfort because the outcome is and should be a positive one. It's got to be, instead of sitting with layers and layers and layers of resentment where either you are going to act out through having an affair or drinking too much or having too much sex online, cyber infidelity.
We've got a caller on the line. Geraldine is on the line. Good morning, Geraldine.
Hi, good morning, Expresso.
Thank you so much for your call. What would you like to share with us?
I just wanted to share, I'm married now for the second time, and I know my partner, my husband, for about 9 years, but we're married for 4 years. And we have a blended family. My kid's father is also married. But the father is also very much involved, and I don't tell my husband everything. Especially when it comes to our children, where they're going, what they are doing, sport activities. And sometimes he understands. He trusts me to make the right decision. I don't ask his opinion, but I will tell him, listen here, this is a problem, and I mainly go to him when I really know I can't figure out this problem. But I never get problems from him. He doesn't give me an attitude that I'm doing my own thing. He understands very well because I'm that kind of a mother. The children already were part of the divorce. And now they must handle about extended parents as well. And I feel that there's enough tension, not necessarily tension, but there's so many changes and things we have to consider how the children also feel. So I don't tell my husband everything, but I think we have a good understanding and he trusts me. And I do go to him when I do feel I can't do this on my own now. And he definitely supports me. So I don't know if that's healthy or not.
Well, it sounds like they've evolved a lot through those.
Yeah. You know, something that you are raising is how much do you tell your husband, your current husband, about contact that you have with your ex-husband? Because that's always a very contentious issue. If you are speaking to your ex-husband, how often do you speak to him, and do you tell your present husband about it?
Yes, he knows everything. We have absolutely no passwords, no secrets when it comes to conversations. We are not friends, but we have a great understanding with his wife, my ex-husband and his wife, and then with we go to the children's events together. We communicate.
Oh, wow. Well done to you.
Between both of us. So we have actually a very good understanding for the sake of our children. We're not friends, but we know our children comes quite first.
Yeah.
Well, you've given us a wonderful model, a template of healthy ex-relationships. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
This
welcome.
is such an important topic, such an important part of what we're talking about today in terms of telling the truth. I find it so often, so thank you for triggering that memory for me of people who are married or in new relationships and still have contact with their exes. It's incredibly difficult to keep disengaged, especially when they're children. And oftentimes people don't share how often you WhatsApping or what you're really sharing with your ex-partner, with your new partner. And that can lead to tremendous amount of conflict.
Yeah. Dr. E, thank you so much, and thank you to Geraldine and all our callers who contributed to this very enlightening topic this morning, and I hope that it has certainly contributed a great deal to your relationship in opening up those doors of communication and being honest. We'll do it again next week, shall we?
Let's do it.
Thanks, babe.
See you then.
It's a date.